Well, welcome to tea time, and it's afternoon tea. That's right. Today, my guest is in the afternoon. So, I'm going to share a little bit on Chris Baldwin and his amazing company of tea. This is my first tea company that is going to be on tea time. So, I'm super excited about it. So, I'm going to share a little bit on Chris, and then I'm going to get Chris to share the incredible reason and how it all began and why he has created this amazing tea company. So a little bit on Chris. Chris Baldwin is a VP of Sales and Marketing for .com Vapor and entrepreneur building the digital AI company ARCQ, as well as co-founder of the Valhalla Tea Company. He served in the U.S. Army Reserves from 2006 to 2016 as a non-commissioned officer under the Military Police Corp at various locations, as well as operations enduring freedom in Afghanistan. After attending college for design, he went on to pursue building his own agency, which ultimately failed out and gave him the insight to keep pressing on to where he is now. And that is how the Valhalla Tea Company started, I believe. Right, Chris?
Well, it's definitely part of the reasoning. I couldn't have started it without all that experience, most definitely. So, it's, yeah, it was just a kind of a mixture. My whole life I've been trying to figure out how to bridge my military service with the entrepreneur business world. And this opportunity had presented itself in January. And then we've just kind of picked it up and started running with it.
So it only started in January?
Yeah, we're new right now. We're fastly growing, but we just started literally this year, January. We through the work that we do here, my business partner, Travis McDonald, he runs the .com companies down here in Vancouver, Washington, so here in the States. And we wanted to diversify outside of what we normally do, which is e-liquids. And so loose leaf tea had come up, and it was just kind of a merging of several different events all at once. I was having a lot of health issues over the last few years, and I had kind of started replacing alcohol I was drinking a lot, and so I started replacing that with tea, just because of all of the added benefits with my blood pressure and everything. And so January, when this rolled around and we had this opportunity, all of a sudden we jumped on it in a heartbeat, just to diversify and I have a company that isn't as heavily regulated by the FDA as e-liquid is.
Okay. See, and there's always a backstory on why we do what we do, right? And usually it's the pain that brings us to our purpose. And do you feel that that has been the backstory of how Valhalla has started?
I mean, definitely I would say pain is part of it right there. Pain in my physical health kind of led me to this path. Pain in my experience as a soldier coming outside of the environment that is the U.S. military, and finding how difficult it is, not only it was for me to reintegrate back into society, but how difficult it is for a lot of our veterans right now to reintegrate back into society. And, one of the biggest, I mean, we've been at war for 2 decades right now. That's a long time right there. I was just a little kid during September 11th, and my generation has kind of grown up in these wars here. It's not just America. Obviously, Canada's been a part of it. There's, Great Britain. I mean, it's just something that has very much been there in front of all of us for a long time. And there's millions and millions of people that have been directly affected by it and have a difficult time when you come outside of that military and the military industrial complex into the civilian world, where it's a little bit more dog eat dog. There's not a whole lot of guidance in the civilian world. It's kind of up to you to figure stuff out at that point. And I've seen time and time again soldiers not be able to effectively reassimilate back into that environment. So that was the huge emotional barrier that we brought to the Valhalla Tea Company here, and that we want to create a company that is centered around a healthy lifestyle but also can in some way or shape or form give back to the veteran community, specifically as it relates to veteran reintegration.
And with your tea, I believe that every bag that is sold, you donate $1, right, to help the veterans?
Yeah, so every bag that we sell online, we donate $1 to veteran service organizations or nonprofit organizations, 501c3s out there that specifically gear in one of our 4 core pillars that we wanted to focus on. I knew when we started this company, my specialty is not obviously in psychology by any means. I'd been a psychologist. It's not my strength, but there are organizations out there that do specialize specifically when it comes to that reintegration process. And it's such a vast issue right now. There's no one organization out there that you leave the military and all of a sudden you can, join this organization and they'll get you back up on your feet and everything. Because it's a very complex issue. So we broke it down into 4 key areas. We call them our 4 key pillars that specialize in veteran reintegration. And that's homelessness and addiction, community, job placement, and mental health. And so we wanted to partner with 4 organizations that one pillar was their specialty. And so as we've started right now, to this point, we've partnered with 2 of them. One of them is the DV Farm, and that is a farm up in New Hampshire that specializes in dealing with homeless and addicted veterans, bringing them off the streets, getting them back up on their feet, getting them back kind of their driver's license, things like that they can really start putting these core components in life that maybe they've just lost through, whatever decisions they've made post-military service. And they're doing amazing work up there. So we're proud to partner with DV Farm. And then our second one right now is the Best Defense Foundation that was created by Donnie Edwards, an NFL football player. He made it the Best Defense Foundation to specifically address like building a community around veterans, as well as, special programs in place for special forces after they leave the military. And they've been a joy to work with as well. We're waiting on they're waiting on us getting the packages actually in before we start really pushing them. So up to this point, we've been mainly working with DV Farm and everything on it. But it felt good. I haven't donated personally. I'm not an angel by any means. Okay.
I don't think any of us are.
yeah. I haven't donated. I can't remember a significant donation I've ever made to anything, monetarily, and so it actually meant a lot last month when we did our first donation to the DV Farm. And, that was the first significant donation I've been a part of that I've been able to give back now. And really, and it's nothing big to this point because we are starting up and everything, but it is growing and we're selling more and more tea every day. And it's just something that, I look forward in the next 3 years. I'd love to be in a position where, not only are we delivering this amazing premium loose leaf tea with all the added health benefits and attaching that to a healthy lifestyle like we're starting to push, but at the same time, being able to fund these specific nonprofit organizations to help them on a different level, when it comes specifically to helping our veterans kind of come outside of the military and back into the workforce and everything.
Well, I think the reason that I reached out to you when I seen your bags, it was the design of your bags that are on. They're so empowering. I love the new one you have for I think it's Athena, the Zeus bag, the lavender tea.
Yes.
I was hoping that I would have seen that one before I made my order, but I will make more orders. I have ordered 3 so far. So, and it was honestly, it's the packaging that grabbed my attention. It was like, oh my goodness, this is so different. This is empowering. Like the bags are really empowering and powerful,
Yeah. So it's, I can even show, I'll talk about it here for a second, then I'll kind of show you. You can see it on the back wall here a little bit too, the proofs and everything that we've been dealing with. But again, right, I'm 33 years old. I grew up in the age of video games, and it's been, video games were a big part of my life for a long time. I haven't played video games in probably 2 years now because I had to pull myself away from them. It was just like too much time stuck, but the games that I liked were these, I've always had a passion since I was younger with mythology. I've loved mythology my whole life, the stories that it brings. And then in the games that I fell in love with were just these crazy ones, like where you could pick your heroes and go out there and just, it takes you away from kind of the reality. So when we started doing this, and so we solidified, okay, we want to have this company that sells this amazing product that we put together that helps veterans. So what's the next stage of that? This was literally an unlimited platform for me to do whatever I wanted. And that's why it kind of goes back to me, just like, this was just a hodgepodge of so much of myself and different elements coming together. And one of those was, well, for each one of our flavors, we want to have a champion that is part of this flavor that in some way is connected to the ingredients, right? So it's not just meaningless right there. And that soldiers and warriors, I like just saying warriors across the board, because you could be a warrior even if you're not a soldier, fighters out there, people that don't quit. They got the grit, they have the tenacity, they get knocked down, they get back up. Like who can champion these types of people? And the first one that came to mind was Wukong from a game that I was playing. And, he's this great warrior in Chinese culture. And he's the Monkey King. I mean, it's fascinating what
I got that one coming.
What's that?
I got that one coming.
Yeah. So it's, and it's great. And that one, it just happened to be our chocolate banana tea, green tea that we have. And that was kind of the start of it right there. And then, so once we had that, then we loved this idea, because we found artists then, two really good artists all of a sudden that have been able just to push out this amazing artwork and breathe life into this tea, and for me, it's you can't here online right now, right? Like there's no way for me to really tell you how good this tea is other than just with my words. And you have to take that at face value for me, just like anybody would have to take a company at face value for that type of stuff. So how can we say, hey, no, like you said, what's eye catching? What's something that can really pull them in? And so we went down this road, and then it became a challenge all of a sudden, because we have 10 flavors of tea to sit there and be like, oh man, we have to come up with 9 other heroes, if you will, for these flavors. And that was challenging in and of itself, writing out this list and everything. And I'm really happy with kind of how things turned out and stuff. So here's the rough prints that we had gotten back. So they're actually all being printed right now.
I just love the characters. Like I it's eye grabbing, right? It's like, oh my God, this is like really different kind of tea, So yeah, it's really, really incredible. Like I'm just like, it's not like an everyday kind of tea that you just see like the name on it. You see character, you see the strength in it, you see the empowerment behind it. You see, like when I look at the bags, I'm just like, I want to get them all. Like I'm just like, I don't even care if it's good tea or not. I'm just like, I want the bag.
I've actually heard that from a couple different people. Like, oh, you could collect these, And it's like, I guess that's the case. Maybe one day this first round of characters will be like Pokemon cards in the future. I have no idea. It'll be Beanie Babies. The next Beanie Babies is our tea bags. I don't know.
You never
it's
know,
fun
right?
though. It's super enjoyable. So,
so we do have a message that came in from Angela Hawk, and she's in the States. I believe she's in Alabama. So I love supporting military businesses, and especially when they are making a difference by giving back like this company does. I'm super impressed. Thank you for what you are doing.
Well, thank you, Angela. I appreciate hearing that. Yeah, I think it's just been such an honor right now, I think, to work in this specific world, especially being a veteran myself. Thank you for the great introduction and stuff there. But I've been there. I've been in those guys' shoes and in those women's shoes, and it's not easy to come out of that. And so making this something that not only I can be proud of, but I think other people can be proud of and get behind is going to be the biggest thing for us as we really start to grow here, and we have grown. I mean, we, like any other startup company, we opened up a Shopify store. I mean, that's the new thing. And we're in the top 1% of everyone that opened up that day right now. So business is great,
wow.
So it's really nice. But it's been a lot of hard work and stuff too. I mean, I'm still trying to learn TikTok right now. I have no idea.
Oh, me too.
No idea how to deal with TikTok.
I'm just like, everybody's like, especially my kids are like, Mom, you're not doing it right. I'm like, what? And my son has me on Twitch too, so I'm learning all of that too. I'm not a gamer at all.
I haven't. You're farther than me then, because I haven't even touched Twitch. I have no, that's something. That's
so I'm just like, I'll try anything, right? And then if it's not my cup of tea, I'm just like, oh, but I tried it and it's just not for me. So
yeah, no, it's funny. When I did my first TikTok video, and I have a daughter. I have a 13-year-old amazing daughter, and she's the same thing. Like, you got to get on TikTok. You got to get on TikTok. So I tried this TikTok video, and just the interface alone for me is just so confusing.
I know, right? I'm just like,
I'm somebody that is. I went to college for design. I'm very versed with Adobe. Any Adobe program, Photoshop, Illustrator, any of that other stuff. And TikTok just was very confusing for me to figure out what was going on there. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure that out, posted this video, and I got nothing from it. No traction whatsoever. And so I did that a couple times, and it was so frustrating. So I put, and so I have this, one of my steepers here, right?
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I put this, it's pretty neat. You just put it right underneath the cup and the tea comes right out of the bottom.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I did a video of just the hot water going into this steeper, and that was it. I put music on it. I did that hot water, put it on TikTok, and it blew up. It was the best video I had. And I was just sitting there like blown away that I was like, okay, so I guess it's just the simple stuff I need to put on there, and that's going to work. It's still not crazy good, but I am a one-man show here right now currently. I mean, I have my business partner, and I have another veteran that he's starting to become more and more. I know everyone does need a teenager to help. 100%. 100%. I could just hire my daughter and be like, here you go. Here's your first job. Yeah. God, where was I at with that? So I'm a one-man show, but I'm starting, as we're growing, we're bringing more help on board and stuff. And my idea would be to really, we're a veteran-owned company. I'd like to keep this culture building here, and really be able to provide a lot of jobs and stuff for these people as we grow throughout the years and everything. And that's another thing I think I'd be really proud of, to sit there and be like, this is something that just wasn't here before, and we're just out there helping these people, people like me that maybe just need that little push in the right direction. So
yeah. So do you feel that making these connections with these two partners that you mentioned, the farm and that, how did you find those two connections? Did they come to you, or did you scope out and look for them, or?
No, so I went to them. DV Farm, actually, DV6 is the guy who runs it over there. Really good guy. He started a Facebook page called Dysfunctional Veterans over 10 years ago. And his story is just, it's so motivating to hear his story as well, because he himself was a homeless vet going through this time, starting this Facebook page. And 10 years ago, Facebook was a lot different landscape than it is now, right? Like, it was the Wild West back then. And he was one of the guys, and Dysfunctional Veterans, the actual page, was one of the first meme pages out there, and he would just post these funny memes that were relatable to veterans specifically, or military members. And it was huge, my friends and I remember sitting in Afghanistan just laughing about some of this stuff as we were, when we get the chance to see what these memes were. And at the time, we didn't even know what memes had a name, that they were called memes, right? So I liked it. It was great. They grew, they grew massive. I mean, they had millions and millions of followers. And And then the whole crackdown that happened with Facebook and everything. Veteran humor sometimes can be really dry. It could be very seedy, if you will, a little dark, So they got in a lot of trouble with Mark Zuckerberg's crew over there. Yeah. So they ended up, I think, I don't remember the exact story. I just remember, like, as a user seeing, like, oh, their Facebook page went down, and then had to rebuild out of it. And it's just been like a back and forth, like, headache, I think, for them since then, because they're still getting, they're getting their pages blocked and everything right now for stuff that was posted 9 years ago that, they haven't. It's just crazy that, and they post a lot. I mean, you're talking probably 30 to 50 memes a day that they would have to scour through over a 10-year period, and they're trying, they really are to make it a little bit more Facebook approved. But so I knew that through them, they had the DV farm.
Okay.
And a good friend of mine who is no longer with us, he lost the battle within and everything. And another big reason why I think I started this company here, he loved dysfunctional veterans and the humor and stuff. Him and I would just go sending these memes back and forth. And so when I was sitting here thinking about who I wanted to partner with, I was like, why not give these people a call? And I didn't know any of them personally. And I just reached out and, said, what's the worst that could happen? They could tell me no.
Exactly. Right.
And they didn't. I actually got right in touch with DV6 over there, and we had a really good first conversation. A lot of what I think I was saying about where, I want our mission to be and everything was resonated really well with them. And that kind of just blossomed from there at that point, which was really great because having them on board, it's just, it's been difficult if you can believe it, it's been difficult to find companies out there, and like I said, I reached out to a bunch, even companies like the Wounded Warrior Project and stuff, for all the stuff that they're getting hammered on right now. You'd be surprised how many of them told me no, that they didn't want to partner because, or we had to commit to a $25,000 a year donation, which one day I'd love to do, but as of right now, I mean, that's not something, as a startup company, you can't just, oh, here's 25 grand donation, let's partner up, but I would love to do that, one day. So finding an organization like DV Farm that was as large as they were, that was willing to say, you know what, like we like what you guys are doing. We want to be partners. You can put us on your packaging and everything. And I mean, that was a blessing, honestly, for us. And then just kind of carried, to the Best Defense Foundation was the next one that I found. And now I'm in talks with another one, Irreverent Warriors. So they're an amazing company out there too, a nonprofit. But the goal is to have 4 of them. So we're at 2 right now.
So Angela may have a connection for you. I'm going to hook you up with Angela because she does have a lot of connections and she does amazing work, this woman as well. She's really good at finding good, strong people that'll make a difference. So I'll connect you with Angela for sure. And we will for sure see where we can take this. And this is why I want to do Tea Time, right? It's like when I reach out, I get a lot of no's too, but it doesn't stop me because I know that it is making a difference, 1 cup at a time, right? And if we don't ask, we don't know. And I really like the word tenacity because when I first got that word given to me years ago, I was like, what the heck is that word? I don't know what that word was. And then when I did your video and I was looking into it, I was like, oh, okay, now I understand why that person said I had tenacity as well. And I was like, oh, okay, I got it. And that's why I like to make personal videos for all of my guests, is because I get to know them a little bit more. And I like to personalize it and put in what you guys stand for and what you do and that. So I got to know you a little bit more as I was making the video as well. And I was like, okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I really liked your backstory because, and this is why we have these tea times, is because there's always a backstory on why we do what we do. And when I reached out to you, it was like, oh my God, this guy has an amazing, cool tea company. And I have never had a tea company on my tea time. What am I doing? I'm the tea lady and I don't even have tea. And I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah. So please say yes. And when you said yes, I was like, oh my God, yes, he said yes. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, well, cheers to that.
Yeah. And like I
yeah.
said, I can't wait for my tea to come in. And I did get the monkey one. And I got the berry one, I believe. And what
So
other
that's
one?
the Uncle Sam is what I'm drinking right now. It's our pearl berry white tea.
Yes, that's the other one I got. Yeah,
It's
I
very,
really like the package.
I get a lot of notes of blueberry out of it, and it's very fruity. This is actually my favorite tea to make cold. So cold brew it. Yeah. So it's if that's something. I mean, you have enough there. Just definitely, if you want to do a cup of cold brew and try it out, it's really good. It's my summertime tea, I think, and probably another reason why we decided to all the ingredients. It's got strawberries in it. There's the blueberries and.
Well, the blueberries got me. As soon as I seen blueberries, I was like, oh, well, I got to get this one because I'm a blueberry girl. So yeah, I'm a northern girl. So where I live now, I'm not. That's not where I'm originally from. So I like picking blueberries. Like we used to go blueberry picking. I'm like the play in the mud kind of girl. Everybody looks at me and they're like, "Oh, you used to play in the mud?" I still play in the mud. I had a mud fight with my daughter, and the cops stopped us because we had this big mud fight. And they were like, "Is there an issue?" And I was like, "Oh, I just kicked her butt." I said in the mud fight, like I lost a shoe in that fight, and I was like, hey, you got to have fun, right? So
right.
But they were like curious on why we were both covered in mud. Like we were like at this trail park, like you should be walking your dog kind of, and two people are walking out here full of mud. They're like, what the heck?
Well, I think Uncle Sam will be great post mud fight. It'll be a good tea for that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, and I'll try it cold because I love cold tea. So I hardly ever drink a hot tea. Everybody's like, do you drink hot tea? Yeah. By the time I drink my tea, it's cold. So
just kind of let it sit there. I've learned, just honestly, I've just learned so much since I started getting into the tea world and everything over the last few years. And it's just been, it's been a real wonder, I think, especially get to this point with, simple things like people not, one of the best things is a lot of people don't realize that you can burn tea, And so that's, so if it's, in all our packaging, it has like the instructions specifically like how to make it and everything. And it's certain temperatures. So green teas and white teas and black teas all have different temperatures that they usually go by. And especially ours, because we have premium blends. So it's not just tea in it. There's, some of them have salt or have chunks of sea salt and caramel in it and stuff. And, so it's certain ways you have to blend it and everything. But if you steep it usually for more than about 5 minutes, then you run the risk of burning the flavor in it, which is, I had no idea, so it's one thing I always make sure I do now is not to burn it. And a lot of people, advice for drinking tea, if your tea is not strong enough, it won't get stronger by letting it sit there. It'll get only stronger by you putting more tea in the steeper. So that's just a little tidbit.
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. It's not like coffee, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. I feel like I'm going to war against the coffee industry right now. So, it's, trying to be healthier and everything to lower people's blood pressure. So it'd be nice. But that's just a fun fact I learned through this whole process, and it was like, oh, I had no idea that you could burn tea. And I don't think a lot of people really do. My whole life, I thought, just like I think everyone thinks, that if I leave the tea in there, it's going to be stronger flavor, and that's not the case. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know, because I'm always like, how come that tea's not strong enough? Like, just let it sit another few minutes, Liz.
Yeah, no, just got to put a little bit more tea in there. So a little bit more. I like my tea strong too. Coming from just being an American, and the coffee is so ingrained into our culture.
Yeah.
That it's I usually put about like a tablespoon and a half of tea into my cup, so it's I need a real strong.
A lot of people have given me different recipes for tea, like tea and coffee, tea and chocolate milk, and tea and butter. Tea and butter is really good. Like I really recommend you try tea and butter. A black tea with butter, oh, it is like silk. It is like a nice coffee. but it's tea.
I'll definitely have to try that.
Yeah.
One of my favorites that so Black Caesar is one of my favorite teas that we have, and that's the salted caramel one. And I love putting just heavy cream, like a tablespoon of heavy cream in it, and I swear it turns into something that you think you would have just got at Starbucks, walking out the door, and it's just like, it's delicious. And I call it our gateway tea.
Okay.
And it's for people that really love coffee and maybe they've never liked tea, their whole lives. It's one thing you don't hear about. You've never heard about, like, at least I haven't really ever seen like salted tea. That's a complete opposite of what I would think. A lot of people like sugar in their tea, right?
Yeah.
And so this one's built with salt in it, and so it's a much more savory taste than you would expect. And people that normally like coffee seem to really gravitate towards this tea, and then get them hooked on that, and then boom, now you got this whole new world of tea opened up that they can start looking into all our other flavors and everything that we have.
So before I forget, I do have the website, so I'm going to bring the website up a bit so people can see the packaging a little bit better, and then maybe you can share a little bit on each of the packaging. So let me just grab that for you.
That, and so we do have a code for you. So anyone that wants to purchase, they want to use Miss Liz as a code when they check out, then they'll get a 20% off their first order.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for doing that. That's
it's my thank you to your listeners and everything.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't know how many is watching because I'm streaming so many different places now. My son's got me on so many different things. He's like, Mom, just multi-stream. You're going to reach different areas and different kinds of people. And I'm like, okay, let's just give it a try. So before it was just the one platform I was using. And but I'm willing to try. Like I said, I'll give it a try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I see the different people watching and the different age groups watching now. So it might make a difference. So I did bring up your website. So I'm just going to scroll down to some of the tea bags, the tea packaging. There we go. That you had mentioned.
Yep, these are our heroes here, if you will.
So I did get the Uncle Sam. I did get the monkey one. And I can't remember what the third one was. Oh my goodness.
I think you got did you get the chai?
Yes. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, because I love my chai tea.
There's Vishnu right there. That's our champion for chai.
Oh, okay. I'll send Angela can't see the website, so I will send Angela the website. And I will connect the two of you together because I think that you two could make a difference. So a little bit on your tea and that. So what I like to do is I like to bring the websites into each tea time is because it gives people a chance to see the website and to see where they can go and all of that. So
yep, it's www.valhallatea.com.
So if anybody would like to check out his tea time, be sure to check it out and be sure to support because it does make a difference. He does donate $1 from each bag. So, and like I said, I'm already buying because of the packaging. So I'll enjoy the tea, but it's the packaging that really got me. Like that was what sold me. I was like, oh my goodness, those packagings.
Well, my print company just got back to me this morning, and so they said June 22nd is when we'll be getting shipped the actual these ones that I have here, but in their Mylar bag form. So at this because when we started this company, we started it as Pocket Watch, is what we called it.
Okay.
And Pocket Watch was the Pocket Watch label was just something to get into the store and everything. So this is what it looks like right now.
Oh.
Yeah, totally different, right? Totally
different. Yeah, totally. So it was like,
yeah. So it was something though, when that was before I had free reign to do whatever I wanted. And so once I got the free reign, I was like, we're getting rid of this, and we're going to transition into these,
Yeah.
And for any of you that are out there that own a business or starting up a company, printing packaging is one of the biggest headaches on the planet to get to the actual point of everything's good to go. and it's just very stressful because you're going back and forth with another company, on design, on what, so if you can have these great designs, we have these great custom art pieces done, and the print company would send you die line cuts is what they're called. And those are files that show the actual outline of the packaging. Where is everything going to be placed in here? What's going to be cut off, and then it has to have all its corresponding color codes, CMYK. And so it's been a 2-month process, which I'm happy about a little bit, because 2 months ago we didn't have 8 packages done. And now we're finishing up, we only have one more left, which is our Loki, and that will be done here hopefully within this week. And then our first 10 flavors are done, and it's great. But we're pretty excited to get this new packaging in June 22nd. So when it does come in, I will send you the new packaging so you can have it. You could put your tea in that then, and just
So are you just selling the tea, or are you selling that mug, like the mug that you showed me?
No, right now we're just selling tea. So I actually we're in the process of coming up with the different mugs and everything. It will be something like this, though. I mean, this is, I personally enjoy this quite a bit. It has a nice wooden handle on it.
I like that. It's different.
Yeah.
And I'm all about being different, so I love it. Well,
a lot of it, like, I don't want to, we're the warrior culture, right? That's what we're building into our tea. So it's not thinking about like a standard teapot and stuff like that. That's not something
it's not like a standard teacup like I got, right?
Yeah, we're trying to not not that we have anything against that. We just we're the opposite. We want something that's real materials and very Viking-esque, if you will, kind of like really pulling in that warrior mentality and spirit into it. Valhalla is the warrior afterlife for the Nordic culture and everything. And it's a saying. I'm actually not even not yet. We do not offer monthly subscriptions, but those are coming. They are coming. We are working on those. So those will be actually the next thing. That's 2 things away from right now. So the next thing after this packaging is done, I am putting together a sample box. So it'll have all 10 of our flavors and tea bags that people can just buy, so they can try out all of them before they make a commitment to purchase, one of the bigger loose leaf tea bags. And then once I have that down, then we will be doing subscription boxes with a mystery tea flavor every quarter that we throw in there. Because we have the ability, our mixologist, our tea mixologist, is just a genius at what he does. And when you taste this tea, you're going to just be like, wow, like this is amazing, and the flavors are just so unique, especially the Monkey King, like the one that you got there. It's got real.
I just like monkeys.
Yeah.
It has
real massive chunks of banana in it,
Yeah.
And it's just, I haven't never seen a tea like that before. And I was just like, well, that's it. That's again, American, right? We like things big, so it's just like, I want real chunks of banana in this thing. And it's got, the chocolate in there.
It was the monkey that sold me on that bag. I was like, oh, I just want the monkey.
Well, I'll make sure I get you the packaging in when it comes in this month. I promise. I'm
that weird girl. Like, everybody thinks, oh my goodness, Miss Liz. And oh no, I'm a weirdo. I'm not scared to admit it. Like, I am who I am, and it was the monkey that got me for that one. Like,
well, that was my, I love hearing everybody has a different favorite one.
Yeah.
And that is one, I think that is mission accomplished for us right there, is that if there is not a single one of those that really stands out as being the best.
Yeah.
And there's not a single one that stands out as being the worst. It's just so diversified. I think we did our job at that point, because we as a human species are a diverse species, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just, that is something that everyone's different. And I think it's celebrating too, that those differences right there. But in the end, it's just that the warrior spirit, right, that carries across to all these different cultures. And that's something that we really wanted to do with that. So I love hearing every time, like, oh, this one's my favorite, or this one's my favorite,
Yeah, I really want to try the lavender one. After I seen that yesterday, I was like, oh my goodness, I wish I would have seen that before the order. But I'm going to make another order once these ones come in. Once I get my monkey, then I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, the lavender is amazing. So all of our tea was also designed specifically to help with mental health issues.
Okay.
Actually, I'm about to upload a video here on our own Facebook page and everything, but it's I myself am diagnosed with PTSD, panic disorder, and anxiety. Not severely by any means, but I mean the panic disorder, man, gets me all the time. It's random. It happens at the worst times, and it's just not something they have a cure for or anything. It's a real pain in the butt for me.
Yeah.
So a lot of these flavors, like the Goddess of War, the lavender tea that we have, they are designed to help soothe anxiety and things related to post-traumatic stress disorder or panic attacks. It's the things to help with high blood pressure. Our All Father is our herbal blend tea that actually has no tea in it. It's just it's a special blend of chemicals that you can make tea into, and not chemicals, sorry, or what is it? Ingredients. There you go. I'm having a brain fart here. It's a special blend of ingredients that's got like licorice root and stuff in there. But I mean, it's the one that, when we were doing this research and stuff, Vikings drank tea, but they didn't drink typical tea that we find now. So we wanted to create one that a Viking could have made, and so that was the All Father. And it is just such a great tea to sit there and relax at the end of a long day, just kind of clear your mind and everything. Goddess of War is another one. Our Lord of the Desert is our peppermint tea. Peppermint's really good to help with anxiety and everything, just the aromas of it and stuff. So that was just another component, right, in this hodgepodge that we ended up putting together with Valhalla Tea Company. And it's just, it's great. At the end of the day, I think we're going to be doing a lot of good out there.
I think you will too. And I live with mental health, and so you doing something for mental health really means a lot to me, because we need awareness and we need to be bringing different things and breaking that stigma, right? That we all go through shit in life and things happen, and tea can help. And
yeah, it really can.
It helped me.
It can help.
Helped you, and it helped many out there. So that's my goal, is to make a difference, one cup of tea at a time. And I can't wait for my monkey tea to come, and then I'll say, "Oh, yeah, I got my monkey."
Perfect. Yeah.
So, is there anything that you would like to mention before we close up your tea time, Chris?
I guess just our plug. Please follow us online at Valhalla Tea Company across Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. You can see a lot of our amazing artwork and stuff out there. Yes, that would be us right there. So it'd be just great stuff. If you want to see what we're doing, we last week we started a live Facebook show ourselves. We have guest speakers on, and basically the whole premise is we have two veterans and a civilian sitting there just discussing anything from our tea. We do tea taste testing on there too. Are aliens real? I mean, we're just all over the place talking about stuff, but it's all over. Yeah. So it's, a good thing. Maybe we'll have you on there one day, if you want to. So it'd be
once I get my monkey.
Once you get your monkey. Right. But yeah, I think just help us get the word out there, the what we're building and this great cause and everything. And that cost, the what we donate to these organizations is not built into the price. It's actually built into our own profit margins. So that's not something, we're not passing that on to our customers or anything, and nor do we think we should. It's just, this is kind of a part of us and what we want to do, and so we're pretty happy and excited for the next few months to see what we end up building here. I think, especially as we go into the next year in the holiday season and just really take this thing and run with it.
So if somebody wanted to make a donation to the two companies that are partnering with you, can they?
Yes, they can make direct donations. So underneath our partner page that we have on there, okay. There's no buttons for it. It's just it's in the bottom of their descriptions. It says if you'd like to donate directly, just goes specifically here To be honest with you, they both do the same process. So it'd just be dvfarm.org/donate, or I think it's bdf.org/donate. And if they want to donate that way, by all means, please do. These organizations are doing so much out there. We're the funders. Like that's really what I'm doing. That's my benefit is funding these ones. And they need, they're nonprofits. So they're out there partnering with companies like mine, trying to figure out how they can pay for all of this amazing stuff that they're doing for our veteran communities out there. So if tea's not your thing, please go directly to their websites and donate there, because they are two really great organizations that we stand behind. And I have done my due diligence on vetting them, and they are pretty high quality organizations as it relates to veteran reintegration.
Awesome. So if anybody would like to follow you, they can follow you on Instagram, Facebook. Do you have a YouTube channel?
We do have a YouTube channel. Yep.
And a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And check out the website, because these bags are incredible. I'm telling you, get yourself a monkey.
Yeah. You're gonna like it. I'm so interested now to see what your thoughts are on it. So it'll be good.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, could you please just be in for our tea time? But I guess with everything going
like I said,
on, right?
on our show, we do a taste testing. So maybe we'll hold off on the Monkey King until you get yours, and then we can collectively all do a nice taste testing of the Monkey King.
There we go. And I love my bananas too, so I'm sure I'm gonna love it. Like when I looked at it, I was like, oh, these are big bananas in there. So
yeah, that one's good with sugar and cream as well. So just
okay.
Yeah, a good one right there.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on your show. It's been wonderful.
Well, thank you so much. I really, really am honored to have you. And like I said, you're my first tea company on Tea Time, making a difference. So I'm going to be getting more tea companies out there. I'm going to be knocking on doors, but I am honored that you were my first one, Chris. And I am really, really grateful for all the stuff that you're doing for the veterans out there. So if anybody would like to make a difference, just grab a bag of tea. Even if you don't like it, you'll like the package. Like, give it a try. It's worth it. So again, I want to thank you, Chris, and I want to thank all the viewers out there who are watching. And if you are watching on the replay, share the tea times. This tea time will be uploaded to YouTube, my YouTube channel, and you can share it with anyone out there. So if you would like to share Chris's story or share the company, get involved with him, connect with him, you are more than welcome to. My tea times are all available, and they are all public for awareness purpose only. So I am not making any money off of this. I am doing this for awareness only. So again, thank you all. And thank you, Chris, for joining me today for Tea Time. And I will see you next week with 2 new guests. So next week we will have a tea guest speaking on bullying, and we will have a tea guest that will be speaking on child pornography. And I can't wait to have those 2 guests on, because I think those are 2 top topics that need to be shared as well. So again, Chris, thank you for everything that you're doing, and thank you for creating these amazing teas, because you grabbed me, so I'm sure you'll grab many out there. So
thank you, Miss Liz.
You're very welcome. And I will see you all next week with a new tea time, and we will make a difference 1 cup of tea at a time. Thank you so much.